In this video, I'm going to go over the hip pain muscle and how to release it for instant relief. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to focus on the muscles that tend to cause the most hip pain. These muscles include the glutes, piriformis, and the hip flexors. When these muscles become weak and tight over time, they can lead to strain and eventual pain. So to fix this, I want to show easy exercises that are going to help stretch and strengthen these key muscles for both quick and long-lasting relief. Just as a quick note, each one of these exercises works differently. They're going to target different muscles and be shown in different positions. To get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. Here's an exercise that we can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. Have your legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. The first movement is called the windshield wiper. What we're going to do is take our heels and gently press them down into the floor until we feel a light activation of the muscles around the hips. We're going to hold this and now swing our knees and legs downward towards one side, focusing on moving through our hips as much as we can. You're going to feel a lot of muscles get a really good stretch with this one. Hold it comfortably for a second or two, and then just like a windshield wiper, go towards the other side and repeat. Do this nice and slowly for 15 to 20 repetitions on both sides. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it's really helping out, but there's still some pain or tightness left, at that point, just keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. But let's take this one to the next level and do another movement called the butterfly that's going to target some more muscles. For this one, we're going to put our feet together and then gently press our heels downward into the floor until we feel those muscles around the hips start to fire. We're going to hold this and now take our knees and press them down towards the floor until we feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of our thighs, working towards the groin and then into the hips. Once we feel that, we're going to hold this for a second or two, release it by bringing our knees together, and then just like a butterfly flapping its wings, we're going to go down and up 15 to 20 times. But go through both of these movements, you'll probably find one that just offers a little bit more relief. And at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. Here's an exercise that we can do standing. What we're going to do is start in a wide scissored stance like this with both our feet pointed straight ahead. We're going to take this top foot and turn it inward as much as we can until we feel a really good activation of the muscles across the hip. We're going to hold that and now do the same on this back foot. From here, what you want to do is slowly lean your body weight backward, putting all of it on that back heel. At this point, you're going to feel a really good activation across the buttocks deep into that hip. We're going to hold this and now take it to the next level by putting our arms and hands in front of us in an overlap position, kind of like a genie, and we're going to slowly turn through our lower back towards that painful side's hip. Do this slowly because that stretch in that hip is going to quickly deepen. Once you feel a deep but comfortable stretch, you now want to hold this for 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. With each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like it's helping out, but there's still some pain or tightness in that hip, at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. Here's a really good exercise that we can do seated. Let's start with really good upright posture. Just have your back nice and straight. The first movement is going to be a marching motion that's going to target the hip flexors on the front of our thigh, a huge instigator of hip pain. So let's take our hands, grip off to the side of our chair, and then slowly lift one knee straight upward towards the ceiling with the goal of trying to drive our knee above our hip. The more that you press up, the more that you're going to feel those muscles on the top of the thigh, into the groin, and then finally into the hips start to fire. Build into this one, hold it comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds, lower your leg back down, and then repeat this on the other side. So do this as a nice marching motion for 15 to 20 repetitions on both sides. And if you do feel like you're not getting a deep activation of those muscles, what you can do is overlap your hand and then offer just a little bit of resistance as you lift up, but only to a comfortable level. So let's take this one to the next level and focus on some more muscles, including the glutes and the piriformis. So whatever side that you're having the most hip pain or discomfort, let's say it's your right side, take that side's ankle, place over your other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. What we want to do with this bent knee is now press it straight towards the floor, but don't use your hands. Instead, use your leg and hip strength to press down, because you're going to feel a deep activation of those buttock muscles. Once you feel that, hold this comfortably for about 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 10 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. But if you would like a much deeper stretch with this one, what you want to do is press your knee downward until you feel the muscles around the hip start to fire. Hold that, and now keeping your back nice and straight, you're going to lean forward, lowering your chest towards the floor, but do this slowly because it is going to be a really deep stretch in that hip. 5-second hold, release it. Again, try to do that about 10 times. But I would go through all these movements. The odds are you're going to find that one just offers the most relief. At that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. So here's an exercise that's a little bit more advanced, but it can offer a deep release into the glute and piriformis muscles. We can do this one in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. Have your legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Whatever side that you're having the most pain or discomfort, let's say it's our right hip, what you want to do is take that side's ankle and place over your other side's knee, so when you look up, it should look like a figure 4. What we're going to do is take this bent knee and we're going to press it away from us, but we're not going to use our hands. Instead, we're going to use our leg and hip strength. The more that you press into this, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of those muscles around the hip. Build into this one as much as you can. Hold it comfortably for about 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 10 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it's helping out, but there's still some pain or tightness left, at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. But let's take this one to the next level and get a much deeper stretch. So this time around, I'm going to get back into my original position, but I'm not going to press my knee away. Instead, I'm going to take my hands and go right through the opening of my legs and grab the back of this back thigh right here. And at this point, I'm going to pull my leg towards my chest, but do this slowly because you are going to feel a deep, intense stretch across the buttocks into that hip. Let's hold this one for a little bit longer, more about 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Try to let out as much tension as possible. So you're going to release it and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. So to target some more muscles with this one, as you pull this leg back, do a slight rocking motion with your pelvis through your hips. So swing towards your right and towards your left, kind of like a pendulum. You'll notice that it just targets those muscles around the hip a little bit more. And if you do find that one position just really offers the best stretch, like swinging towards the left, at that point, keep building into that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. So here's a really good strengthening exercise that we can do daily for long-lasting hip pain relief. We can do this one in bed or on a floor. Just lie on your side like this. And you want the side that has the most pain or weakness facing the ceiling, and support your head with your hand. So let's start with our body in a nice straight line. And what you're going to do is keep your feet together, but bend your knees till they're roughly at 90 degrees and have your knees slightly forward from your body. At this point, we're going to keep pressing our feet together, but we're going to take this top knee and press it backward like this. So the more that you press backward, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of those muscles around the hip, especially the glutes. We want to build into this one, hold it comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, slowly release it, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. too. But let's take this one to the next level and definitely make it more challenging. So what I'm going to do is straighten my body so my legs are nice and straight like this. And what I'm going to do at this point is slowly raise my top leg towards the ceiling as much as I can. You're going to feel a deep activation of those buttock muscles around the hips. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. But again, try to throw in another set or two. So if you want to target some more muscles or try to improve pain-free range of motion of the hip, what you can do is, instead of keeping your foot straight, turn it inward like this as much as you can, putting the hip into internal rotation, and then raise it up. You're going to feel those muscles get hit a lot differently. You can also turn your foot outward like this, putting the hip into external rotation, and give that a try. But I would go through all of these movements. The odds are you're going to find that one just offers the most relief, or it just feels like it's really weak. And at that point, I'd keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose, or it feels like you got a really good workout. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.